The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.
Access the podcast commercial-free The Bonus Show, as well as a full archive of shows dating back to 2005 by becoming a David Pakman Show member. Go to davidpakman.com/membership. Membership prices go up Monday, March 12th, as we expand from 2 shows a week to 4 shows a week. And we will also be moving the live time of the show back to 2 p.m. Eastern if you're with us on our Ustream feed and on the internet. So bear that in mind, Lewis. Exciting stuff. Will you actually have to get up earlier if we start the show at 2 p.m. instead of 3 p.m.? Or will you still be able to get up around noon?
No, I will. I will have to get up earlier.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of people would be confused by that.
That's okay.
Oh, okay. But we're only talking about a little bit earlier, right?
Yeah.
And will you still? Lewis has this big thing where if Lewis is going to go out to lunch, he needs to be made aware of this early enough, because otherwise he'll wake up and go right to breakfast. Lewis has to have his cereal and milk first. I mean, for you, if you woke up at 11:10, you wouldn't be able to just go to lunch at noon, because you can't just go right to lunch. You need to have that cereal.
Right. Yeah.
Will that be affected by the time change on the show?
No, I'll be okay in that department.
Okay, very good. So anyway, that's all happening next week. Membership prices will be going up. You can lock them in for period, indefinitely, by signing up before that point. The President Obama, can't believe the question he got from Fox News reporter Ed Henry about gas prices. Now, we talked last week, Lewis, about how the Republicans sent out a memo with talking points about what are the things we should hammer the president on. Fox News read that memo during Fox and Friends and said gas prices is something Republicans want us to be talking about and blaming on the president. And immediately after, Steve Doocy goes right into talking about how gas prices are affecting you. What are you going without? You remember that segment, Lewis. Mm-hmm. So no surprise, Fox News taking a page once again out of the Republican playbook. So far, we're used to this.
Right.
Well, now it's actually extending. The alarmist coverage is extending all the way to the White House briefing room, where President Obama gave the first solo news conference since November, and Ed Henry asked him about gas prices, and Obama basically just laughed it off. I mean, he couldn't believe he was even getting this question. Take a listen.
You have expressed concern about this loose talk of war, as you call it, driving up gas prices further. Your critics will say on Capitol Hill that you want gas prices to go higher because you have said before that will wean the American people off fossil fuels onto renewable fuels. How do you respond to that?
Ed, just from a political perspective, do you think the President of the United States going into re-election wants gas prices to go up higher? Is there anybody here who thinks that makes a lot of sense?
Okay, so basically laughing the question off, as he should, because this is it seems like just, hey, it's one of many questions he could have asked, but it's very calculated, because again, it's pushing this idea that it's the president's fault gas prices are high, and therefore you should vote for Mitt Romney or Rick Santorum because they would lower gas prices. I mean, it's bizarre logic to buy into.
It is, but, well, had Bachmann made it this far, gas prices would be 99 cents a gallon.
She was
under
saying
Bachmann.
If she were president, she would get prices below $2 a gallon, right?
Something like that.
Yeah. I mean, just because this confirms, just because a television show has the word news in the name of their program doesn't make it a legitimate news organization. Of course, the reality, Lewis, is it doesn't help matters that the White House gives Fox News a front row seat at White House news briefings, right?
Right. But if they deny them that, then clearly they will be able to play that up, and it will not look good for the people they're trying to sway.
Okay, let's explore that, though. Natan, I mean, let's say the White House says Fox News is not a legitimate news organization, so we're not going to give them, certainly not a front row seat, but maybe no seat at all. So then Fox goes and they do their whole thing about, the president attacks us, liberals, etc., their whole routine. But on the grand scheme of things, not that many people watch Fox News compared to the population that votes. Does it matter?
Well, not only that, but also the people who do watch Fox News are not people, and actually believe what's on the channel, are not going to be voting for Obama anyway, and their position isn't going to be changed at all by Obama not talking to Fox News.
Yeah, I mean, Lewis, would it really have that much of an effect? Because think about it this way. If you watch Fox News and you would buy into that narrative that they're real news, you're not going to vote for Obama anyway. It's hard to believe thinking of Fox News as a legitimate news source and voting for Obama, okay? If you watch Fox News like I do to see what they're saying and to analyze and critique, I'm going to be voting. I'm not going to be affected by them pushing Fox out, and I'm going to be voting for Obama anyway. So then the question is, would they really get negatively affected if they said, Fox, sorry, no more briefing room?
I think when you're the president, I think the administration has to appear to remain completely neutral and unbiased with regard to all news outlets. I mean, they must have thought about this. They must have calculated this and decided that they need to leave that seat open for Fox News, because otherwise, 3 years ago or whatever, they would have put an end to it, right?
Maybe so. Maybe so.
I agree. Well, one thing more. I agree with what Luz is saying, except for the fact that I don't think Obama thinks that Fox News is a legitimate news organization.
Oh, no.
And he has said things to that effect without using exactly those words. But I agree with Lewis that I think if the news got out to other media outlets, which it would, people, some moderates, some independents might, think twice about voting for Obama, thinking that he's not really open to the media.
That could be. Well, listen, the hypocrisy, let me talk about real hypocrisy, not Sarah Palin hypocrisy. Fox News covered gas prices in 2008 when they were very high and George W. Bush was president. And when it was Bush who was president, they kept repeating over and over again, hey, gas prices have nothing to do with the president. Here's proof. Let's take a look. Let's take a listen.
And the facts are, as you suggested, no president has the power to increase or to lower gas prices. Those are market forces.
Congress, what if it's just the fact you got a booming global economy, you got China and India that are slopping up all this oil faster than we can these days, and that is a not so sinister response to what's going on?
Well, let's say
nothing to do with President.
You know, at this point, it really is tough for this president, I have to be honest with you, because he really does not have any control what's going to happen with the markets and with the economy and with oil prices and supply and demand and gasoline. It really is out of this president's hand.
Yeah. Most Americans are getting hammered by high gas prices. Yesterday, oil hit a record high, and politicians cannot do a thing about it. So whenever the barrel of oil goes up, they correspondingly raise all of their prices to make as much money as humanly possible. I say the folks should be angry about that, should be angry, should cut back 10-15% of their buying of all of these people. If we all did that, would that drive the price of American gasoline down?
Well, I don't think you're talking about a boycott. You're talking about general conservation, using less energy.
Correct.
Absolutely. The only thing we can do is start to use less energy.
All right, so if every American who owned an automobile or an air conditioner said, I'm going to use 10% less, 15% less, the prices then would fall.
Yes. Yes, if we kept it. Now, what happens in this country all the time is there's a price spike, we react, we use less gasoline. As soon as that price goes up, we go right back up.
But
we're good at reacting, not conserving.
I think people now know, and they should. Politicians can't do this. They can do temporary fixes like gas tax holiday.
It is so
Okay, so example after example, we're not hearing that now, Lewis. We are absolutely hearing a different narrative. Hey, same gas prices, just a different president. President couldn't do anything about it then. Politicians couldn't do anything about it then. Now, one of the top 3 talking points against Barack Obama really shows you how weak the case against Barack Obama is right now.
I guess so.
Natan, any thoughts on that? Any surprise on the hypocrisy there?
No, I mean, this just proves the point that Fox News is not, it's not a news organization. It's an opinion organization. They have their talking points and they repeat them.
Absolutely.